Let's go to Tim Blair from the Daily Telegraph, joining us from the Wimmera in Victoria. Good to talk to you, mate.
As always, my friend.
You've written again about a number of issues, but Middle Eastern policy there. One of the things Australia's trying to do, of course, apart from save the planet, is to resolve the Middle East peace. This from a bloke who can't keep his electorate office open. And I just want to get your thoughts on Greta Thunberg and that flotilla still heading towards Gaza. They've got their final warning, apparently, from Israel, and some people are already jumping ship.
It's kind of interesting that the flotilla is sort of continuing, even though, her side's winning. Everyone's given them, statehood's been offered. Australia, France, Canada, various other, idiotic and misinformed nations. You make a very good point that of all Australian parliamentarians, perhaps the Prime Minister there should be most alert to the issues involving the Middle East in a local way, because he's got Palestinian supporters driving him out of his electorate, and yet there he is turning around. It shows that violence and hostility and conflict sometimes can prevail.
He cannot prevent a bunch of protesters from shutting down his electorate office, but he reckons he can keep Hamas out of any future Palestinian government. The absurdity is just too much, which leads us to our next political figure, and that is Kamala Harris, the former Vice President, one-time presidential candidate. She's back flogging a book. Here's a little of what she's got to say.
Right now we are dealing with, as I called him at my speech on the ellipse, a tyrant. We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now in Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump, a communist dictator. Has she got that one right?
Well, give her a break, Chris. I mean, you try making sense after 14 martinis before midday. It's a challenge. I like, though, having proved she can't speak, she's now set out to prove she can't write. This book is an atrocity, and the extracts are brilliant. She's so tone deaf that she's not aware, or her ghostwriter more likely, is not aware of how much she's telling on herself. There's whole sections in there about how her staff were undermining her and they were making fun of her, and it just comes across as someone who can't control an office, again, let alone a country. It's a very Albo-ish kind of scenario.
I haven't read any. I assume she'd have someone who could writing it for her. I suppose, though, when you look at what she said, if she transcribes any of her own quotes, she's in trouble. Have a look at this as a reminder.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
There is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present.
Oh, God, I'm not going to be rushing out to get this book, Tim.